Hi and welcome back to GSF Weekly. I'm Madyson Montoya, and joining me here at Warcat is Foothill College's outside linebacker, Dion Leonard. Thank you so much for coming out here, Dion.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so just to start off simple, how did you get into playing football?
Well, my brother, he played football like for most of his life, and then I thought it was cool. I wanted to get into it. It looked fun on TV, so I just started playing.
And did you only play football, or did you play any other sports?
I played basketball growing up in middle school. Middle school until my sophomore year, I ran track, and then it just started solely focused on football after that.
And what kind of events did you do in track?
I did the 4x1, the 100, and the 200.
So sprinter?
Yeah. We was nice too. You could look us up. We was like that.
Now, what high school are you coming from?
Milpitas High School.
And what was your high school sports experience like?
We definitely won a lot, I'd say. Actually, I got moved up to varsity my freshman year during playoffs, so I was acclimated with the culture and everything from an early age. I used to go to practices when my brother played there, so I got to see what it was like. So we definitely, being a part of that culture, like it's something a lot of people can't relate to, but when you're in it, it's great. You know, the coaching, the winning, the bonds you create with the guys is definitely beautiful. I played with a lot of guys who cared about winning, so like it made it fun. We had a lot of great coaching. Basketball, like a whole lot of great times and stuff with my guys, so it was definitely fun.
And did you play 7-on-7 or anything like that when you were in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you play 7-on-7?
I Am Fitness 510. Shout out my man Coach Coop. I know he gonna see this. Actually, that's where I met Alf. My boy Phil. I remember we were doing an interview. We were at JUCO College, and then Alf let me get behind the mic and the camera, so that was cool.
Yeah. And how was the transition, from playing high school football to go into the JUCO level?
Honestly, it wasn't a big transition really, because in Milpitas we played high-level teams, like a lot of competition, I'd say. So, like jumping to JUCO, it wasn't a big jump for me, I'd say. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't tough either. Yeah.
And what about just into college life in general? Was that tough at all?
I think for me personally, I think college is a lot easier because it's at your own pace, and the work, you don't have anyone nagging you, and it definitely tests your accountability. So for me, that's perfect.
Yeah, and how'd you end up at Foothill? What made you decide to go that route?
Honestly, Brandon Younger. I heard about the things he was doing, how he was as a coach, and that was a guy that I wanted to play for.
And let's talk about your coaches. How important have they played, in your success as an athlete?
A lot. Ever since I was probably 14 years old, I knew most of my high school coaches. So they were always on me about just getting out, being a great person. One thing I remember Coach King, he would always say football is going to take you a long way, but it's about you're going to be a husband one day, you're going to be a father one day, and you're someone's brother, you're someone's son. How are people going to remember you as a person? Football is great, but how do you want to be remembered as a person? So that always stuck with me to be great and do great things in life. And as far as JUCO, man, Coach Rav, Coach Edwards, BY, all our coaches on our staff. I remember my first day at Foothill College. In high school, we worked out, but we didn't really work out. I ain't gonna lie. So Coach Rav, he throw 225 on the power clean. I'm with Darius. He throw this. I look at it. I'm like, nah, I ain't ready for that yet, coach. But now that's easy. We in there throwing 260, 270 around. So as far as my strength, and I was playing DB before I switched to outside linebacker.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from just my physical growth, working out with Coach Rav and Coach BY, just getting with him in the off season during our workouts and stuff, just working on my feet, my speed, and my mobility and stuff like that. It's definitely helped me with that transition. So I feel like I'm a mismatch. When I have the advantage when I'm in the slot, guarding slot receivers. I have to cover tight ends and running backs and stuff like that. So I feel like they're a huge part of my success. Yeah.
And since coaches are so big to you, how important is the new coaching staff that you're going to have moving on from Foothill College?
That's going to be a big part of it. Honestly, I want to play for a player's coach, someone who cares about his players and someone who cares about winning. Just I want a transparent relationship wherever I go,
Yeah, and you currently have an offer from San Jose State.
Yeah.
And I know Coach Brennan is a huge player's coach.
Yeah,
so what are your thoughts on the program?
I like the things that they're doing, A lot of people, they don't understand how it goes. He just got into the position a couple years ago. He's getting his kids in and he's recruiting. And, they had some big wins this year, and they're definitely going to turn the program around. And that's somewhere I could be a part of. I see myself.
Yeah, so right now are you still have your offers open, or
Yeah.
are you focusing on going to San Jose State?
Well, like my recruitment's open. I'm honestly just focused on winning ball games, going 1-0 with my team every week, and then whatever happens, it'll fall into place.
Yeah, and let's talk about this season. How do you think it's been going? You guys are undefeated currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think that success is owed to?
We have a bunch of guys who know how to win on our team. They know how to handle success, and I think that doesn't get to our heads. We're 6-0 obviously, but we just take it week by week. We worry about who we're playing that week. We never look ahead. We never sleep on anybody, and I feel like that's helped us a lot.
So what are your plans for the future? What are you getting your associates in right now?
Well, actually, I'm a communications major, so after my life after football, wherever that ends up, I want to be a sports broadcaster and get into journalism. Maybe a Stephen A. Skip Bayless type.
Yeah, strictly with football, or do you want to cover all sports?
I mean, I can cover all sports. I'm versatile, I think. But football is obviously my love and passion, so I'd love to cover that, but I'll take any opportunity.
Yeah. Do you have any idea if you want to cover professional sports, college sports?
Probably professional sports. I think college is more entertaining, but I feel like I like to argue a lot with my teammates and stuff, and we get into debates and stuff like that, usually about the pros though, so I feel like I got a little bit more experience in that.
And this is all, obviously the goal is to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you doing, to take your football career as far as it can go?
Just working hard every day, doing more than the next man, film, listening to my coaches, obviously. I went to Milpitas High School, so there's guys that have made it to the NFL. I've been around those kind of guys. I know what it takes, seeing them, working with them. So just putting in the extra work, being a great person, obviously handling my schoolwork first, because you can't go anywhere without that.
Yeah.
So just doing all the little things, I say.
So you went to Milpitas High School, and they've produced some NFL players and some Division I college players. What was that like, being around those players?
Well, Vita and my brother, they're really good friends, so Vita was always at the house. I'm actually great friends with his little cousin, Toonie. That's like my brother. We obviously got Tariq Brazy, he's in Notre Dame. Tyree, he was my quarterback, he's at San Diego State. Ali, he's at San Jose State. There's just a plethora of guys, Tad Perry, Delta O'Neal, Lindsey Jackson, Brandon Carswell, like the list goes on. So just being a part of that lineage and culture and being around those guys and be able to soak up information from those guys, like, it's just great. And I feel like when you went to Milpitas, or you're actually a student in Milpitas, like, you carry that with you, and like, it's a sense of pride.
So now that it's the second half of the season, what should we look out for?
Obviously more wins, because that's what we're trying to deliver. A bowl game appearance, and honestly, that's it pretty much. We just keep our winning habits. We don't really want to change anything that's got us this far,
And I know you shouted out some coaches, but is there anyone else you want to shout out before we end this?
My mom, my family, everybody that's been a part of my life and consistent in it, the people that I'm around daily. I love y'all. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dion, for coming out here. And we just want to thank you with this Ike's gift card. So go ahead and get yourself a sandwich.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.